It's time to get your geek on with Dave Vermillion.
So, all right. So I guess we need to talk about the big news.
Yes.
The really big news that came out, and that's the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer.
That was really fun.
Yeah, actually, that was cool looking.
After that other movie came out, this was the lighthearted trailer we really needed to pick our
It
spirits
was like
up.
a palate cleanser, man.
It really was. That's a good way of
Yes,
putting it. I like that.
Definitely, because since everything in Infinity War was just so shocking, you needed something that was like a little uplifting.
It was, and I like this one. The trailer was well received by the fans, as it should be. I'm looking forward to this movie. It comes out in July, so that's practically around the corner already. Mm-hmm. But this is going to be a great summer blockbuster season, which is good because we've had some lousy ones in the past few years. But this trailer pumped me up.
April and May is going to be a good blockbuster season.
Yeah, that's about right. All right, so let's talk about, seriously though, let's get to the big Marvel news. And did you know that we almost had an Iron Man movie in the mid-2000s?
Really?
Now, Iron Man 1 came out 10 years ago. This is the 10th anniversary for the MCU, which is great. But we almost had an Iron Man movie in the mid-2000s, and guess who they wanted to get to play Tony Stark?
Who?
Tom Cruise.
Why?
What?
Can you picture Maverick?
No.
Actually, I can a little bit.
Actually,
a little bit. If he wanted to be Maverick, it's kind of hard to picture him because we think of him as the Mission Impossible. What was that time travel movie he was in with the aliens, and that didn't make a lot of sense? Something about tomorrow. I don't know.
There was that one. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about now.
Yeah, I can kind of see
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. If he doesn't be that Tom Cruise, if he's more of the Maverick Tom Cruise, I can almost see it.
So more of like the risky business and
the more lighthearted, fun side.
Well,
but
no.
Yeah, he's not Robert Downey.
No.
There's
No.
way.
Robert Downey just owns that role.
I can almost see it though. It's
If Tom Cruise would have been cast at that point, it would have been just another comic book movie.
it would have been.
It probably would have been. Absolutely. So
Eddie Murphy as Sam Wilson.
no, I could see that.
Maybe in the 80s, maybe, but not now.
All right, how about Tom Cruise as Tony Stark in the 90s?
I could kind of see
I
it
could
at
see that.
Point.
Like early 90s Tom
Yeah.
Cruise.
But they would
I
have
can
never been able to leave it to Infinity War. It would have just been another comic book movie.
Like everything else in the 90s?
Yeah.
Okay,
pretty much.
if I could build an Iron Man Dream Team movie, Tom Cruise from like Top Gun days. Okay, Eddie Murphy from the 80s,
Like Beverly Hills Cop?
like Beverly Hills Cop Eddie Murphy, and then think about this. Think about this for a minute. Katie Holmes as Pepper Potts, but Katie Holmes from like
The 2000s?
Batman Begins.
2005?
Yeah,
Possibly.
I could see that because she's not a very, let's face it, she's not a very dynamic actress. She's not that loud, boisterous. She's not Charlize Theron. She's not that type of actress. I could see that. Or she may be a little too young, but Anne Hathaway as Pepper Potts.
Maybe. But I honestly think they did a good job with casting. I think they've done a good job of keeping everybody. To be honest, Robert Downey Jr. has probably been the longest running comic book actor of all time.
Well,
yeah, you're
except for
right.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. But think about this. If they redid Iron Man today, do you know who would be Robert Downey, who would be Tony Stark? The Rock. He's in everything.
And then John Cena would be Captain America.
John Cena.
Oh, let's stop while we're ahead.
Oh,
Thank
good.
God we didn't go that route.
Okay,
Thank you,
Stone
Kevin
Cold
Feige.
Steve Austin as Nick Fury.
Oh, there we go. Who would Goldberg be?
Oh, Ultron.
There we go.
Or Thor.
Or Thanos.
Goldberg could be Thor.
Or Thanos.
Or Thanos, yes.
Andre the Giant could be Kingpin. You know,
Well,
why
Andre's
not?
dead, dude.
Well,
You could
but with the
resurrect
Dream
him.
Team, we're bringing, from wherever. All right, so I guess we should finally stop beating around the bush here, and let's just talk Infinity War for a little bit. Yes. All right, so here's the good news. Here's the good news as we're jamming out here. Box office records smashed include opening weekend worldwide, biggest opening in the spring, biggest opening in April, biggest opening for a PG-13 movie, biggest money on Saturday, Sunday, over a 3-day period, and the fastest movie to $250 million.
Wow.
This thing just blew apart the box office, which we all thought it would.
Well, it's been building for years.
It had been. But, there was actually a time, I think it was like on Friday, When some estimates came in that it was only going to hit about 240, and that it wouldn't break the record, I started reading some of the estimates, and I'm like, there's no way. This thing, maybe it's not going to. I called 263 million at the box office. It hit 258. I was close.
And so, who do you have the records of who called what?
I'll have to go back and look.
I think I did bid the lowest.
Well, the bet, however, the one chip challenge bet was for worldwide total. So we're going to have to talk about that like at the end of June or something. But
you think the theatrical run of this is ending in June?
Well, end of June, we ought to have a pretty good idea at that point. So. But a lot of people are out there, they're talking. You can find reviews anywhere and everywhere on YouTube, on Instagram, on wallstreetjournal.com, all over the place about what they thought of the effects and the characters and the deaths and this and that and blah, 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 blah.
Wait, there's deaths?
Well, yeah, that's
Spoiler alert.
That's a given. So they're all over the place. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to go around the room and say what we thought of the movie because that's boring. So let's do something about this. Let's try this. One thing.
Somebody in our Facebook chat at facebook.com says GYGO Radio hasn't seen it yet.
Uh-oh.
No, we've seen it.
No.
Somebody
in the
Reagan.
chat
Right.
hasn't seen it.
Reagan Hall.
Okay, well, that's good because we're going to keep this spoiler free also, so that helps.
Okay.
All right, so one thing that really surprised you about the movie, spoiler free, but one thing that really surprised you about the movie.
I guess I'm going first.
Yeah, go ahead, Minion.
I'd have to say, well, not spoiler free there, but Captain America's appearance.
Okay.
When he first comes out, everybody cheered.
And we saw that appearance in the trailer.
And we saw that in the trailer, so,
Right.
so that's okay. Goose, one thing that surprised you.
So, as we know, I am basically the DC apologist on this show.
Yes, you are.
But every movie after Man of Steel, with the exception of Wonder Woman, has become a cluster over the course of that film, with way less characters than Infinity War had.
That's true.
In Infinity War, I could always follow what was going on, and it didn't become the just nonsensical special effects laden
Cluster.
that Batman versus Superman was and Justice League was.
You know, it's funny now. Marvel's known for being lighthearted and having these fun movies. Now they've officially done dark movies better than the DCEU have. It's official. I mean, I'm sorry. There's just no question about it. And I like this. John Biscardi in the chat at facebook.com/GYGO radio. He says the biggest death in Avengers Infinity War, the DCEU.
Ouch.
Let me bring this up for comparison.
This hurts.
Opening weekend.
This is going to hurt me a lot, I can tell.
Opening weekend for Avengers Infinity War was $257 million. That's domestic. The entire domestic run for Justice League, the entire run, $229 million. Do we have taps? Can we play taps? You know, the funeral.
Hey,
something?
our crickets are here.
Crickets are here, so that's something. Gracious. All right. One thing that surprised me, I have to say, was how separated the characters were.
Yes.
How it took place on different places. I thought it would be like the trailers, that Thanos shows up on Earth and everyone comes together on Earth and they fight him on Earth, and it's all, you know, and you'll see buildings explode and Man of Steel bridges and it really wasn't all that. It's there, but it's not all that. So, all right, one thing you wanted to see more of in Infinity War, and by the way, if this is a little bit of a spoiler, or maybe you just want to avoid Infinity War talk altogether, come back at the bottom half of the hour. We'll have moved on from then. One thing that you wanted more of, I'll start off on this one, Hulk.
Yes.
I wanted more of his story, more of what happened to him, more of his struggle. I wanted more of that.
Actually, I was kind of surprised with what we got, and I was kind of happy with what we got because, again, there's a part 2 to this. And you're seeing some of the struggle after what happened in the first part of the movie.
Right?
Seeing him deal with it throughout the movie.
Yeah, but I don't want... I didn't want it to be resolved there, but I wanted an introspective moment. Because in the Avengers and Age of Ultron, you saw a moment in the trailer where Hulk is, you know, he's Bruce Banner and he's all like huddled up and he's, oh my God, what's happening? I can't handle this. And you had it again here. But I was hoping for just a little more of his story and his point of view. Just a little bit. Minion. One thing that you wanted more of.
Well,
from
one thing I
Infinity
have to
War.
really compliment them on is how they were able to balance all the seriousness with also bits of comedy.
Okay,
And
but
not like-
did you want more serious and more comedy, or
I think they balanced it out.
Yeah, but what do you want more of?
Gosh, it was hard to say because I was just overly just impressed with the whole thing. More of, and I was talking with one of our guys down the hall here, a little bit more Captain America.
Yeah, I can
'cause
agree with
He
that.
kind of took more of a backseat to this one.
I can see that.
You didn't see him really come out more until they were in Wakanda.
Yeah, by the end of the movie, when they're fighting Thanos, when Captain America's fighting Thanos, and that's not a spoiler either because you see it in the trailer, he grabs the Infinity Gauntlet because he's trying to they're punching. That's really kind of the high point for Cap.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, all right, that's good. Goose, what did you want to see more of?
I wanted more of movie. Like I said, I didn't want to go. It's like, no, give me more.
I want that Peter Jackson 3.5 hour cut.
No, I'd be okay with a 6 hour cut. Bring both movies together, 6 hours. Let's go.
Okay, one thing you wanted less of in the movie. Let's start with Goose. We haven't started with you yet.
So I actually wanted less moving around. I wanted everybody together in the first place.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
I mean, it would have sped up and it would not have made the dramatic parts as dramatic. But I would have loved to see everybody come together sooner.
Yeah.
But I liked why they didn't, and I know why, and I liked everything about that movie, except, I wanted it to be longer.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
I have to agree with Goose here.
Okay.
Mainly because I mean, like you said, I can see how everybody's kind of spread out for a reason. But I didn't want to have everybody all together, just like how you did in the comic, where everybody just went against Thanos.
Something I wanted less of was the stupid humor. Humor's good. I like the jokes. But there's one scene in particular, and I'm sure I'm going to get some hate for this one. Bring it. That's fine.
Send all your hate tweets to @GYGO_radio.
Like Drax. He's on the ship, and he's all, I've mastered the art of being invisible by moving really slowly. And they're like, no, dude, we can see you.
Okay.
No, I'm moving my spoon really slowly. No, dude, that's the equivalent of a 5-year-old putting his hands over his eyes and saying, I'm invisible. You can't see me.
So,
And I'm like, that's stupid humor.
as we know, as we all, the three of us all know, and those of you who have seen me perform know, I like to make the joke. I like to throw the joke in.
You like it a joke.
I like it a joke, yes, indeed. But sometimes, and you got to hold back because you need to let that drama just stand on its own for a little bit. With Guardians, they don't have a whole lot of drama.
That's true.
In Thor Ragnarok, the comedy was over the top. I could have done with a lot less of that.
Yeah, I could have as well. It's just, and some of the jokes in there were really funny.
But some of them were just nonsensical.
Like Raccoon, Rocket talking to
Thor?
No,
No,
not
Bucky.
Thor. Bucky. He's like, I'm gonna get that arm. That's funny. That's funny.
That's just his character.
It's just not a spoiler. It's just a joke.
But it's a matter of when two characters are having a moment.
I just don't want stupid humor. I mean, Drax making a joke about, maybe their moment and, how weird it was, or maybe how it reminds him of his wife, and that's why he's glad she's not around or something. That's funny. That's okay. But him doing the whole, you can't see me, I'm invisible. Dude. Yeah.
I think that came from Dave Bautista hanging out with John Cena too much.
I think more than likely
Maybe.
that was, definitely.